Good morning, televiewers, and welcome to the midweek edition of The Brief, live on My Media Prime Television. On today's menu, we are examining the Trans-Border Security Meeting ongoing in Abuja, the political capital of Nigeria, where the Minister of Territorial Administration of Cameroon, Paul Atanganji, is leading an 11-man delegation. And we shall equally be telling you about the humanitarian worker who has been killed in the northwest region of the country. The Canadian humanitarian worker who was working for the International Red Cross reportedly died of injuries he sustained during his activity over there in the northwest region of the country. Thank you for joining televiewers, not leaving out the date for 2021-2022 academic year, which is not still certain. We are told by the newspapers that the Secretary General at the Ministry of Secondary Education has said that the highest authority in the educational sector in the country will be making an outing in the days ahead to tell us on whether the SIF, which was initially scheduled for back to school 2021-2022, will be maintained or will be changed. Those are the major headlines that we gather for us today in this edition of The Brief. Let's now find out what the French newspapers have for us with ETAPE QUENTIN. Bonjour ETAPE.
Bonjour LASHA et bonjour à nos millions de téléspectateurs et bienvenue dans cette grande revue de presse bilingue de votre émission Débrief de chaque matin, édition bien sûr de ce mercredi 25 août 2021 sur My Media Prime TV, l'œil de l'Afrique. Et ouvrons très rapidement avec le quotidien Éco-Santé qui nous parle justement de la santé et nous présente un produit pour le traitement du coronavirus. Le produit s'appelle Palubec, 18 grammes seulement, très efficace contre le Covid-19. Dans les explications plus loin, homologué comme adjuvant au traitement par le ministre de la Santé publique, le produit est fait à base de plantes camerounaises. Il est non seulement efficace pour guérir contre le Covid-19 et ses variants, mais aussi et surtout ce produit joue le rôle d'un antibactérien et antiviral. En tout cas, pour plus de précisions sur son efficacité et son usage, je vous invite à lire les propos du docteur Christine Bekono-Bindia dans les colonnes des pages 6 et 7 de ce journal en kiosque ce matin. Fermons ce thème pour parler à présent de l'éducation avec le quotidien Mutation, rentrée scolaire. Ça cloche sur la date, c'est d'ailleurs ce que nous propose le journal à sa grande une, habituellement prévu le 6 septembre, le glissement de la date de la rentrée scolaire session 2021-2022 est soupçonné au mini-sec et au mini-dup. Qu'est-ce qui aurait expliqué cela? En tout cas, l'enquête menée par nos confrères sur la question est à lire entre les lignes de la page 6 de ce numéro en kiosque ce matin. Poursuivons notre exercice avec le quotidien Info Matin qui nous renseigne sur les gérants du Cameroun et poste à sa grande une, gouvernement, ces ministres qui déménagent leur bureau. À la page 3 de cette livraison, vous pouvez constater que le président ou bien le Premier ministre Joseph Dion-Koute et son équipe sont fébriles depuis le début de la semaine, alors que tout porte à croire que le remaniement est prévu après la Coupe d'Afrique des Nations. Et puis terminons très rapidement avec le tri-hebdomadaire, le journal Le Soir, pour jeter un coup de projecteur sur la crise anglophone. Sale temps pour les terroristes au nord-ouest et au sud-ouest à Tangandji et une forte délégation en mission d'urgence au Nigeria. C'est ce que nous propose le journal d'Aman Bianda en sa grande une. Plus loin dans les explications, il est à noter que le président Paul Biya a dépêché une mission spéciale au Nigeria pour rencontrer le président Buhari pour une lutte conjointe visant à stopper le mouvement des mercenaires, des armes et munitions, de l'argent du Nigeria au Cameroun pour un retour de la paix dans le Nozo du Cameroun. C'est à l'occasion de la 8e section du comité frontalier Cameroun-Nigeria qui se tient depuis hier, mardi 24 août 2021, jusqu'aujourd'hui à Abuja. Un dossier à retrouver dans la page 3 de ce tabloïd présent en kiosque ce matin. Mesdames et messieurs, voici la substance de ce qui est de la revue de presse en français. Place actuellement à la découverte de ces unes en anglais avec toi, LASHA Kishili.
Thank you, ETAPE Canton. Let's kickstart this morning with a News Watch newspaper. News Watch is interested in the security meeting, which is currently ongoing at Abuja, the political capital of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. News Watch newspaper. Armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Buhari commits to barring secessionists from using Nigeria as staging ground. According to News Watch, Buhari has also pledged to frustrate any alliance planned by secessionist groups in both countries. Minister Paul Atanganji, who is leading an 11-man delegation to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, yesterday met with Buhari, and they have renewed their commitment in ensuring that secessionist groups along the common borders of the two friendly brotherly nations are completely wiped out. And still with the News Watch newspaper, let's talk about the secessionist movements in the northwest region of Cameroon. Ambazonian or Amber Boys, according to the paper, wreak havoc in Oku, set council chambers, mayor's residence, market at blaze. The incident, which took place recently, was led by self-styled Ambazonian General No Pity, who led over 80 fighters to that town in the northwest region of Cameroon, destroying over 58 shops, burning down the mayor's residence as well as the council chambers, as we are told by News Watch newspaper. Let's stay in Bamenda to talk about Bali Church shooting. Military washes hands off as PCC calls for international inquiry into the shooting. The shooting which led to the death of a female Christian and the wounding of a pastor over there in the northwest region of Cameroon during a live Sunday church service in that part of the country. The military has washed its hands off the said incident. Meanwhile, the Presbyterian Church or authorities of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon have called for an international inquiry into the shooting. Let's now take you to the Guardian Post newspaper, which is also dedicating its front page to the high-profile security meeting in Abuja, the political capital of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Cameroon, Nigeria strategized to wipe out secessionist Boko Haram. Minad boss Paul Atanganji leads 11-man delegation or 11-man Cameroon delegation to the Transborder Security meeting, which of course ends today in Abuja, the political capital of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let's stay with the Guardian Post newspaper to talk about this petition or calls by lawyers of Cameroon Bar Association. The lawyers have petitioned the bar to convene an elective General Assembly. The elective General Assembly, which was supposed to have taken place since November 2020. The lawyers are worried. They are not comfortable with the current situation of the umbrella organization, the Bar Council. So they are calling on authorities or those who are at the helm of the said institution to convene the meeting for December this year, as the meeting has long overdue, as we are told by the Guardian Post newspaper. Let's stay with the Guardian Post newspaper to talk about the arrest of a Nigerian in the political capital of Cameroon, the Nigerian who allegedly raped foster children in political capital of Cameroon, Yaoundé. And also in the Guardian Post newspaper, a Canadian humanitarian worker killed in Bamenda. The humanitarian worker reportedly died from injuries he sustained, as we learned from the Guardian Post newspaper. On to the Reporter newspaper. The Reporter is also interested in the session or the 8th session of Cameroon Nigeria Transborder Security Commission meeting. The meeting which ends today in Abuja, the political capital of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nigeria, as we are told by the newspaper, the Nigerian leader Muhammadu Buhari has said Nigeria will never serve as a base for terrorists to destabilize Cameroon. He made the declaration during the opening of this two-day meeting, which is currently taking place in Abuja. Let's take you to the Sun. We are ending with the Sun newspaper, which is revisiting the scene in Bali over the weekend in the northwest region of Cameroon. Weekend of blood and fire in the northwest region of Cameroon. Bali bleeds as Oku goes aflame. The Okus, we're talking about the attack at the market, which led to the burning of over 58 shops and the burning of the mayor's residence and the council chambers by reported or by supposed separatist fighters led by General No Pity, as we are told. International Red Cross Canadian staff also shot dead in the northwest region of Cameroon. And PCC Honorable Nincho condemned murders, repeat calls for a ceasefire and dialogue to for the ongoing crisis in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Meanwhile, Defense Ministry says security forces not involved in Bali shootings. The security forces as being accused by some individuals as being behind those who perpetrated the said shooting. We are told that Navy Captain Siris Serge and Tomfa, who happens to be head of communication division at the Ministry of Defense, has washed his hands off the said incident that led to the death of a female pastor or a female Christian in Bali Nyonga in the northwest region of Cameroon. We are back in the studio, Teleview, as we continue with our discussions this morning, and we are receiving our colleague of the English desk, Joy NGONG, who is always with us in the studio. Good morning, Joy, and welcome once again.
Good morning, Lasha. It's always a pleasure to be here.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling fine. It's midweek, so it's normal. I'm feeling really great.
Our Minister of Territorial Administration, Paula Tanganji, is in Abuja, and the high-level security meeting is coming within the backdrop of so many attacks ongoing in the two English-speaking regions of the country, and not leaving out the far north region of the country, where Cameroon has lost so many soldiers to Boko Haram militants over there. Do you really think that this meeting will bring the much-needed collaboration that many Cameroonians have been clamoring for? As we all know, recently the Biafran groups, they signed an alliance with the Ayabacho faction of the Ambazonia to fight and gain what they say their Ambazonian country, which is the northwest and southwest regions.
I think that this mixed commission against terrorism between Nigeria and Cameroon comes at the right time. You can see that since this agreement was signed between Cameroon and Nigeria in 2012, enormous efforts have been made positively to combat terrorism in the borders of Cameroon and Nigeria. We're talking about mostly the Boko Haram crisis. Since 2012, a lot has been made when it comes to combating Boko Haram between Cameroon and Nigeria. Now, the problem at this level now is looking at it in relation to the Anglophone crisis in the northwest and southwest. How far is this agreement going to go to protect Anglophones in the northwest and southwest? Because already Boko Haram, we've seen the efforts they've made as a joint force against terrorism. We've seen the efforts they've made to fight Boko Haram. Now, at the level of the Anglophone crisis, we are hoping that the committee puts in tangible measures to be able to protect the Anglophone citizens in the northwest and southwest.
Yes, and recently another group operating in Nigeria stormed Bakassi Peninsula and pulled down the flag of the Republic of Cameroon. And many people thought that this is going to cause a diplomatic incident between Cameroon and Nigeria.
So far, that discussion has not been talked about at this committee meeting, this 8th meeting. So we hope that maybe discussions today are going to touch that, because as well the agreements between in Biafra, it was signed between Cameroon and Nigeria, but the Nigerian forces have violated that agreement. So this has to be a very important topic of discussion.
No, they are militias, not the force.
Yes, the militia, exactly.
But they are the citizens of Nigeria.
They are still citizens of Nigeria, and they are violating the agreements that was made.
The Green Tree Agreement.
The Green Tree Accord. So I personally believe that this is going to be one of the discussions during the second day of the meeting to ensure security of Cameroonian and Nigerian citizens as well over there in Bakassi.
Okay, Joe, let's talk about this outing of the Secretary General at the Ministry of Secondary Education of Cameroon, who has said or revealed during that outing on the state media that the initial date for 2021-2022 academic year might not be maintained. That authorities, the highest authorities of this country, will be making an outing in the days ahead to dwell on that. According to you, what could be the reasons behind the pushing ahead or the changing of the dates for the new school year? Is it because of the annual reports that probably have not yet been submitted by the various regional authorities in the educational sector, or the COVID-19 pandemic?
It could be the submission of the annual report. At the same time, it could be the late release of the results of examination classes. Results just came out over the weekend for the GCE ordinary and advanced level. It could be that as well. So they have to give time.
But does it mean that they didn't take into consideration these things before?
That's maybe the lapses of the administration. That's probably the lapses of, because before this GCE results came out, people were asking, schools are meant to resume in 2 weeks. Up to now, results are not out. So what becomes of these students, successful or unsuccessful?
What impact does the change of this date have on parents?
First of all, it's preparation, because parents have been preparing for a long time, and if they extend the date, it's going to give the opportunity for parents to, to make more preparations, to have time, to have more finances to prepare effectively for the resumption of schools. But we have parents too. Parents have their timetables. Parents have already programmed how they are going to spend their money, and then if they extend the date, probably it's really going to help parents a lot in preparing financially for back to school. But we hope that the date will be revealed soon enough to give parents, to make parents plan better. Because if they just leave parents like that in the air,
you think if they give them 2 weeks, they will still prepare better?
They say if you cannot do it now, even if they give you a month, you will still not do it. So we just hope that the dates be released.
This will cause a lot
sooner.
of confusion. It
will cause a lot of, especially for children going to maybe boarding schools. Yes, it will cause a lot of confusion for such students, because honestly, at this time, parents already know some schools have already even resumed, some private boarding schools. So it is okay. It is just normal for the date to be made known soon enough to let parents program themselves for such that their kids have an effective resumption. Pushing the date or putting the date on hold at this 2 weeks to school, it is not really the best option. Normally, this date was even supposed to be made known before they going on holidays. This day was already supposed to be made known. But if it gets to the point where they have to make changes, I think that has to be done rapidly, such that parents don't get into confusions, and then they prepare effectively for back to school.
Okay, ETAPE Kanté.
Je voudrais qu'on s'intéresse aussi à la santé, après avoir parlé de l'insécurité et l'éducation. Et si on peut de jeter aussi un petit coup de projecteur sur ce produit qui nous est présenté par le journal Éco-Santé, Palubec, 18 grammes, ça vient comme ça pallier le problème de la santé en traitant le coronavirus de façon efficace. Quelle appréciation pouvez-vous apporter sur ce produit qui est, je tiens à rappeler, homologué par le ministre de la Santé publique?
Well, I think that the Ministry of Health has enough health experts to test the effectiveness of any treatment that is put out there in the market. And if the Ministry of Health has approved the treatment, why not try it? Because Cameroonians, we have this tendency of believing or of putting our trust in foreign medicines. Well, I think that if the Ministry of Health has approved the usage of this medicine that has been put out there, maybe we just might want to try it out, because we look at the Samuel Kleda's COVID-19 treatment that he produced. At the beginning, Cameroonians were kind of skeptical about it.
Even when it
was tested, yes, that it was effective. Yes, Cameroonians were still skeptical, but at the end of the day, we found out that it was, if not one of the best treatments we've had so far in Africa, in Cameroon, and why not the Central African sub-region. Yes, so if the Ministry of Health has approved it, I'm sure that it has passed through several stages of tests, then why not? We can just make a try.
D'accord. Et et je tiens à vous rappeler que c'est un produit qui est fait à base des plantes camerounaises. Est-ce que c'est pour essayer de valoriser
Coming at the time when
le talent camerounais en matière de médecine?
Well, coming at the time when the president just ratified the African medicine system, or the African medicine, I think that it is a way to promote the Cameroonian natural medicine, African traditional medicine, even the medicines coming from out of the country. Most of these medicines are made from African plants. Yes, they are just being processed.
So is it because we don't have the technological know-how to be able to extract this thing? Or
well,
really
in the past we could say so, but with experiences like this, I believe that we are really evolving in the medical field, and we should promote ourselves too. We should promote our product. If it has been tested that it works out, why not? We can go for it.
Okay. All right, let's talk about this other headline that has to do with lawyers. Lawyers, you know, they are men of law. They are clamoring for the much awaited General Assembly, or elective General Assembly, which was supposed to have taken place since November 2020. And up till now they've not had it, so they want the government, or they want the Bar Council to organize this elective General Assembly come this December. What do you have to say to that? What is happening at the helm of the Bar Council with, you know, with people who are supposed to be those who respect the laws? They are still the one violating. What do you have to say to this?
I think that it is a problem of the administration.
And some of the lawyers are even saying that the Bar Council or the Bar Association has been taken hostage by those who are there.
That's the problem. I think it's a problem of administration, and it has to be tackled at the level of the administration. The lawyers should pose the problem to their authorities to ask them what is going on. But if they have organized it for December, they should keep to their word.
No, they have petitioned the
it should be organized
the
in
current
December.
administration.
So I believe that.
But we've not had any response coming from those who are managing.
I believe that the lawyer, the administration, the council owes the members an explanation if there is a problem. It owes them at least that, as members of the Bar Association, it owes them to tell them what is going on at the level of the council that is holding this meeting. Is it a problem of maybe rules and regulations? Is it a problem of management? I think that the council owes that to the council members, rather than just keeping them in the dark, not exactly telling them what is going on. And they have to take into consideration
the likes of Barrister Tamfu Richard and other barristers in the country. They are not happy what is ongoing at the helm of the Bar Council, as we are told. Joy, let's end with this rapidly, talking about a Nigerian who has been arrested in Yaoundé for allegedly raping foster children.
when I laugh, because when I came across this piece of information, I was really shocked, because you will not leave your country to come to another person's country. Well, we are brothers and sisters, but you will not come for marriage and then you rather come to, I don't know if it's ritualist, if a person is a ritualist, or it is just a moral deficient, or I really don't know how to describe this situation, but it is this phenomenon of raping one's relations, raping your children, your foster children. It is really becoming rampant, and we have to question the moral education that our society is receiving.
And the ministry concerns, because the
Ministry of Empowerment and Social Affairs as well.
They have these ministries have to sit up and
they have to empower our youth.
Je pense pas, moi particulièrement, que ce monsieur qui a posé cet acte-là est malade mentalement. Je pense pas. Moi, je pense que ça, ce sont des conséquences.
It's premeditated. Such acts.
Lorsqu'on est dans les sectes.
Voilà. Such acts. People usually attribute them to ritualism, but not all the time. Sometimes people are just wicked. Some people
want to,
yes, people just want to, and that's the thing that our society needs. We get academic education, but we don't get moral education. So I think that it is time for our ministries, as LASHA Kingsley earlier said, it is time for them to stand up and make sure that our society receives this information. And we are seriously lacking. So many atrocities are happening in our society in recent times, and it is all of this just falls back to the moral. We are lacking behind morally a lot in our society, and people need to understand that those things are crimes, and if you commit them, you are going down for it. I believe that this man,
people are handled.
Yes, and I think the parents too, the woman too should be watchful. Parents, has really happened to her, to avoid such situations. I think that other parents should be more watchful, should be more careful who you bring in to your home as a father to your children. You should be more watchful to avoid such situations.
Thank you, Joe NGONG, for coming. Thank you to televiewers of my Media Prime for taking out time to watch this other edition of The Brief, which was produced for us this morning by TEBONG, or Christian TEBONG. And for presentation, we've been ETAPE QUENTIN and myself, LASHA Kingsley. Hopefully we'll be with you together tomorrow for yet another edition of What the Papers Must Have Said. Bye-bye. Stay blessed.